And for more on these escalating tensions, we are now joined by retired Lieutenant General Ben Hodges, who's been meeting with Ukrainian officials as part of a U.S. delegation. Lieutenant General, it's a pleasure to have you on here. So right now, what do you make of the reporting from the New York Times citing the Ukrainian military that portions of Russia's army have reached full combat strength and appear to be in the final stages of readiness for military action should the Kremlin order it?
Well, Lindsey, for sure, Russian Federation forces have been gradually building up, really since last year, using exercises to sort of mask what they're doing to build up their capability. So we're in a very dangerous time. And when I was in Kyiv, talked to President Zelensky this past weekend, it was very clear he is not confused about the threat. They know what is out there and what the potential is for a very serious attack.
Is he essentially putting forth maybe a more relaxed persona outwardly so as not to cause panic, but behind closed doors and maybe in conversations with you, it's much more serious?
Well, look, he has a very difficult challenge. For sure, he is concerned about the survival, not just of his government, but of the sovereign state of Ukraine. He knows that this is what is at stake. But he also knows that what the Russians are doing is not just preparing for a conventional attack, but also they're trying to ruin Ukraine's economy and cause the collapse of his government. So he is concerned. He's trying to balance how do you avoid the destruction of the economy and the loss of the resources that are needed to defend the country. That's why he's not asking for American troops to come into Ukraine. He's asking for financial resources as well as weapons and ammunition.
Should the West worry about this strong stance from China and Russia?
Well, I think we're worried in part because the Chinese Communist Party is watching how we do in this particular case with Ukraine. I mean, if the United States cannot muster all of our allies and all of our partners and deter the Kremlin from a further attack in what is so obviously and clearly illegal, if we can't stop that, then I don't think the Chinese Communist Party is going to be real impressed with anything that we say about Taiwan or the South China Sea. So this has implications well beyond Ukraine.
Let's talk about this claim from the Pentagon that Russia planned to create a video depicting a fake Ukrainian attack on Russians to justify an invasion. Right now, the administration hasn't provided evidence. We know that right now, Russia, the Kremlin, they're denying these allegations here. Should the administration, which says that they're protecting their sources and methods, should they provide evidence?
Well, look, first of all, this is entirely believable. This is typical was Soviet, now Russian technique to do things to create pretexts. You know, the Russians have been giving out Russian passports, not only in Donbass, but also in other places. And then the leadership talks about it's their duty to protect Russian-speaking people wherever they are. So this is entirely in step with a normal procedure. And I like the fact that we, the U.S. government, are being much more open, talking about things like this that we discover. This is part of challenging the Kremlin in the information space and shining light on the fairy tale that comes out of Moscow.
I got to be quick with you here because I'm out of time, but where do you see this going over the next few days? Is diplomacy still an option?
Diplomacy absolutely is still an option, and I am so impressed with what the administration has done, more comprehensive and intensive than probably in 1995 in the Dayton Peace Accord, but we really need Germany to put the pressure on Moscow as well.
All right, retired Lieutenant General Ben Hodges, so good to talk to you about this. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Lynn.